also, back in the presidential election, I was in such a horrendous place. Basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point, and I...
The Donald Trump strikes continue. This time, he aimed an attack at pop sensation Taylor Swift, but it backfired with an unexpected counterpunch from Taylor Swift herself. We'll get to the videos in a bit, but it's no secret that the man has Twitter fingers of steel. Whenever he gets the chance, he'll insult his opponents personally, using derogatory language, and try to discredit them. There is no way to know what he will say if you put a camera in front of him. It's crazy to think I'm talking about a man who was not too long ago the president of our country. Someone who you would think would be a model of leadership, the embodiment of dignity and respect. But instead, we got a man who is out here trash-talking people left and right, setting a terrible example for how public discourse should be conducted on a daily basis. A few days ago, the convicted felon Donald Trump said, "Why would she endorse this dope? He doesn't know how to get off a stage," referring to Taylor Swift endorsing Joe Biden. So I bet you're wondering, what in the world did Taylor Swift do to him? Well, nothing much apart from this upcoming video. As a matter of fact, this is just another one of his attacks that come out of nowhere. In other words, even if you do not call out Donald Trump for his hypocrisy or scandals, there is still a good chance that you will be included on his list of people he will target with his criticism. Now, in a remarkable video we are about to show you, you will see Taylor Swift coming out against Trump and the Republicans. As the tide of disapproval over Donald Trump's actions and behavior continues to rise higher and higher on a daily basis, this is a profound, emotional, and brutally honest criticism of Donald Trump. There is a rational explanation for why it has been making its way back around social media. The thing just from a security point, Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history, and if he doesn't win, then at least I...
Taylor, here's the problem. I just want to read you what I wrote, and I'm going to try to start. I just really want you to know that this is important to me. I totally agree with the issue. Have you heard her? Yes. I've read the entire thing, and the bottom line right now, I'm terrified. I'm the guy that went out and bought armored cars. I worry for her safety as much as anybody does, maybe more. It really is a big deal. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. She votes. She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point. And I can't see another commercial and see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for. I need to do this. I need you to forgive me for doing it, because I'm doing it. Any effort by her to strengthen democracy, even if it is simply suggesting that people register to vote, is regarded as an aggressive act by Republicans. This is due to the fact that she is not a sycophant of the right-wing ideology. So look, if Republicans want to exclude young people, fine. If they want to exclude the fan base of the biggest pop star in America, no problem. If they want to exclude the fan base of professional sports, no problem. If they want to exclude anyone who doesn't pass their ideological purity tests, no problem. We are not the ones who are going to suffer. It is they who will suffer. The fact of the matter is that they are unable to stop themselves. At this point, the only thing that the Republican Party stands for is its relentless pursuit of power. And they are willing to destroy anyone who fails to submit to their will, even though the weird Donald Trump comments were made behind closed doors in a GOP meeting at the Capitol. Both Democrats and Republicans were pushed back by Trump's weird rhetoric. For instance, here we have former Senator Claire McCaskill give her take on those disgraceful comments. Think about this for a minute, guys. Donald Trump got in front of members of Congress and wanted to talk about whether Taylor Swift was going to endorse him. I mean, that's just weird. That is a scrambled brain. First of all, under no set of circumstances is Taylor Swift ever going to endorse Donald Trump ever. And so him bringing it up is such a self-own that he cares more about Taylor Swift endorsing him than any of those losers that he was requiring to applaud him. Claire McCaskill and Taylor Swift stand united in their clear-eyed vision for America, one that rejects the divisiveness and self-aggrandizement exemplified by Trump. McCaskill, who has spent a significant portion of her life working in public service, brings with her a wealth of experience, as well as a no-nonsense attitude that cuts through political theater to bring attention to the issues that matters the most. The addition of her voice to the discussion provides an essential layer of credibility and gravitas, and it serves as a reminder that genuine leadership is about serving the people rather than one's own identity. CNN hosts also reacted to Trump's desperate Taylor Swift comments. It's an incredibly creepy, "I'm sorry. I know it's morning, but I just threw up a little bit in my mouth when you read those quotes. It's just a disgusting thing. Mr. Trump should pay himself hush money. He should just shut up about Taylor Swift. And you can tell he is scared of her. You know, Trump understands celebrity. He understands the power of celebrity. That's how he got where he is. Ms. Swift is far more powerful as a celebrity than Donald Trump ever dreamed of being, and so he's clearly scared of her. And I find that wonderful and amusing, even though the comments about her appearance are deeply creepy. Surprisingly, this isn't the first time Donald Trump has commented on Taylor Swift. Recently, The View reacted to another strange comment Trump made on Taylor Swift. According to the upcoming book, Apprentice in Wonderland, you know who seems to be trying to curry favor with the powerful voting bloc of the Swifties. He was asked for his thoughts on Taylor Swift, to which he responded, "I find her unusually beautiful," then questioned whether she's really a liberal. What is this all about? Whoopi Goldberg sets the stage perfectly. Classic Trump, superficial and out of touch. Trump's attempt to appeal to Taylor Swift's massive audience by calling her unusually beautiful and challenging her liberal stance is classic. Not only is his obsession on her appearance rather than her achievements offensive, but it also exposes his ingrained need to criticize women depending just on appearances. Given a man who has spent his life objectifying women, this is not shocking. But it is especially heinous when directed against someone as gifted as Taylor Swift. Joy Behar strikes the mark exactly. Trump's constant use of beautiful draws attention to his incapacity to look past appearances. His narcissistic personality includes this fixation with appearances. He cannot see that a woman as beautiful as Taylor Swift would not be on his side. It reflects his limited perspective, in which allegiance and beauty equal value. Trump's cutting of Swift to her appearances alone writes off her as one of the most gifted and powerful musicians of our day, well known for her activism, songwriting, and commercial sense. But besides that, it's like he's such a looksist too, you know. Besides the fact, first of all, he can't believe that a beautiful girl like that would not be on his team. That's how narcissistic he is. People don't believe he's on his team. He's a fake conservative. Well, I don't know what he is. Psychotic, psychopath, whatever. Behar's examination delves further into Trump's psyche. His narcissism and illusion are shown by his inability to accept that someone like Taylor Swift would not back him. Trump's reputation as a conservative has always been dubious. His policies frequently serve more of his own agenda than any logical political philosophy. His disdain for those who don't blindly follow him, no matter how accomplished or popular they are, shows a profound lack of understanding of different perspectives and a refusal to acknowledge the legitimacy of opposing views. She endorsed Biden in 2020. Yeah. The thing for me that was missing was, isn't she also one of the most successful entertainers in the world? Well, he's jealous. He believes it. Indeed, Taylor Swift's support of Biden in 2020 was momentous. Using her platform, she promoted laws that fit her values, especially those supporting social justice. Trump's jealousy and incapacity to acknowledge Swift's impact and success outside appearances is instructive. It is blatantly evident how insecure he is and how prone he is to minimize those who disagree with him. That's him. Like, he's impressed with that. One of the most successful businesswomen in the world. She's richer than him. Yeah, because he doesn't have any money. Melania should have married Taylor Swift. The hosts correctly note that Taylor Swift is a smart businesswoman in addition to a great performer. Her financial success and impact much outweigh those of Trump, who is well known for fabricating his riches and hiding his financial mistakes. The joke about Melania marrying Swift offers a funny twist, showing the inanity of Trump's perspective in which success and riches should naturally inspire loyalty and respect. It just shows how his brain works. But more importantly, this is what's frustrated me. I tried to communicate this to Trump world many times as, yes, liberals exist. Yes, half this country, more than half of it sees the world differently than you. One of Trump's biggest weaknesses in his approach is his incapacity to understand that more than half of the nation sees different from his own. His remarks on Swift expose a more underlying issue: his denial to interact with or even accept the validity of several political points of view. Trump dismisses and denigrates the issues of a varied electorate rather than appreciating and addressing them. This polarizing strategy has only widened political divisions in America, making unity and progress more challenging. Taylor Swift is a liberal, but also she supports the LGBTQ community. That's been a cornerstone of her career. Yeah. Why would she be with? A key component of Taylor Swift's public image is her documented support of the LGBTQ community and other progressive causes. Her alignment with liberal values stands in sharp contrast to Trump's policies and rhetoric, which have sometimes disparaged these groups, particularly the younger generations who look up to Swift as a role model. Trump's confusion at her political posture reveals a basic disconnection from the issues and values that matter to a great number of Americans. Lucy, you said sometimes, and I don't think I'm betraying anything, when hiring, whenever a female came up, he talked about her look, not her skills. Not her skills, yes, that's crazy. Well, he always has Marjorie Taylor Greene to stare at. Reflecting his strongly ingrained inequality, Trump's emphasis on women's appearances rather than their talents is a long-standing problem. This shallow assessment not only undercuts the achievements of women like Taylor Swift, but also helps to maintain a poisonous society that favors appearance over talent. It serves as a sobering reminder of the widespread discrimination still present at the highest levels of authority and the need of always questioning and destroying these out-of-date and negative ideas. The hosts of The View did a fantastic job of calling out Trump's shallow remarks about Taylor Swift. Now we have our own U.S. newscaster special of exposing Trump for you to watch. Make sure to like and subscribe if you support Taylor Swift standing up against Trump. Hope you enjoy. Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lips? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. That was Republican front-runner and convicted felon Donald Trump last month, offering his thoughts on a cool new movie that was released 33 years ago. But did anyone question Donald Trump's mental fitness or even his basic connection to the time-space continuum? No, they did not. The Democratic National Committee cites Punchbowl News, which reported the former president said this: "Milwaukee, where we are having our convention, is a horrible city." Republicans in the room said his words were taken out of context. Donald Trump just gave a speech in Detroit in what was supposed to be a black church, although take a look at this picture of Trump's audience at the 180 church. That's what it's called. That is perhaps because after nearly a decade of this increasingly unhinged commentary, the American public has become somewhat numb to Donald Trump's particular verbal madness. Donald Trump, like many conservatives, has consistently bashed cities led by black mayors. In the case of Milwaukee, Republicans who were at the meeting swear he was talking about violent crime and voter fraud. Yet Milwaukee police have said that crime, specifically homicide, is way down in the city this year, while the FBI this week just confirmed a historic drop in crime nationwide. And of course, with regards to the 2020 election, no fraud was found. As you look at it, I think Detroit, over 70% of the population or so, is black. And in this church that just simply doesn't look like whose? Trump, 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 Trump. And then as our investigative crew started looking at some of the people who were on the stage and kind of around there and closer to Trump, and who were holding up signs like Black Americans for Trump. If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value. And they say the noise causes cancer. You tell me that one. Okay, and then I see the disinfectant. It knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? If you take a look like right here and you zoom in, a lot of these people are there traveling and they're at another event, the Charlie Kirk Turning Point USA event. Here's what Donald Trump, though, did say, just kind of rambling as he does, like a memory question. It's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. So they say, could you repeat that? So I said, yeah. So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV. It's actually not that easy. But for me, it was easy. Is it really not that easy, though? Though President Biden receives far more press for his verbal miscues and mistakes, the reality is that Donald Trump is in a league of his own when it comes to strange non sequiturs and rambling anecdotes that lead nowhere and fantastical scenarios that have no basis in reality. What he's saying there, he can't speak in sentences. You watch this. We're going to bring back the auto industry to Michigan. We're bringing it back to Michigan. We're going to bring back the auto. And I can tell you from our senator, we will work on that together. But we're going to bring back the auto country. It's going to be called auto country again. The ad-libbed hypothetical that Mr. Trump presented this past weekend in Nevada, it really stood out. What would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery is now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? So you heard him say we're going to bring back the auto industry in Michigan. We're bringing it back, and I can tell you from our senator, we will work on that together. Well, I guess he wasn't praising Hannibal Lecter, so is that an upgrade? But just go to factcheck.org. This was from September 24th of 2020. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you know what I said? A lot of shark. So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking? Water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted, or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? But you know what I'd do if there was a shark? Well, I can assure you if I have anything to do with it, we will lock him up. MAGA Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene just gave the most unhinged speech of her political career. Trump's false auto industry claims. Continuing a years-long trend, Trump made false and misleading comments about new auto plants in Michigan and the auto industry at large, boasting in recent campaign rallies about accomplishments that aren't true. Trump claimed his entreaties to the Prime Minister of Japan led to the announcement of 5 plants in Michigan. There have been 5 new investments, not plans, by Japanese car companies since 2017. Or you get electrocuted. I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we could end. We're going to end it for boats. Just to be clear, this scenario will never come to pass on planet Earth, in part because of the laws of buoyancy and conductivity, and in part because a former president will never ever be in a sinking boat with a shark 10 yards away. It just is not going to happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene is no stranger to unhinged or deranged public speeches or remarks, right? She gives them on the regular. And it's been a staple of hers ever since she walked into public life to ruin our lives. Over the years, as Trump has been defeated in so many ways, as Republicans have been pushed back, as MAGA Republicans in particular have failed and time again to thwart Democrats or President Biden, Marjorie Taylor Greene has become increasingly unhinged and angry and aggressive. Donald Trump then says here that, and this is how he's trying to do, I guess, outreach to the black community at this church that's filled with mostly white people in the audience. He goes, "We have a great group of patriots. As you know, Byron Donaldson's an incredible guy." Trump's apparent conditioning of a large swath of the American public to accept his incoherent rambling as normal, or at least something other than addled and alarming, has become one of his biggest campaign advantages. With the spotlight on President Biden's age and acuity, Trump and all of his malapropisms have seemingly gotten a pass. And there is no better day to put Trump's aging but florid mind into perspective than today, because today is Donald Trump's birthday. That's right, and any Democrat and any person from the mainstream media and anyone that wants to continue to shame us for January 6th can go to hell. This cult of personality that lays itself on the line for Donald Trump, that's what she represents. That is not an outlier. That is what the Republican Party has devolved into, and I notice he happens to be on the list of potential vice presidents. Would anybody like to see him as a vice president? I notice your name is very high on the list. That's good. You should be on the list too. And look, with respect to Byron Donalds, he had some of his serious crimes expunged from the record in Florida. Should be noted as well that Donald Trump also had with him at this event. Can we talk about this descent into ultra-weird and what you have seen in particular that causes you to make this assessment? You know, Trump is a tough character when trying to unpack which part is just who he is, which part has gotten worse over time. You look at the vocabulary, you look at the challenges, speaking in clear sentences and communicating. You know, she says, "Don't shame us for January 6th. You've never been ashamed. You have never been ashamed, Marjorie Taylor Greene, of the January 6th insurrection. You supported it. You supported not just the riot the day of, not just the actual insurrection, but other elements of the insurrection, like when Donald Trump, seriously explored unlawful and highly corrupt means to try to stay in office after he lost a free and fair election. In addition, Donald Trump previously brought Lawrence Taylor, a registered sex offender, on stage with him in Wildwood, New Jersey. Trump brought a hip-hop person named Chef G on stage with him in the Bronx. Chef G has been charged with a 140-count felony indictment for murder and 12 attempted murders. It's alleged that Chef G is a leader of the Crips gang and was terrorizing New York. That is something that has changed pretty radically over time. I would say even from 2016 to 2020 to 2024, the progress of a Trump rally shows you pretty clearly a man on a sharp downward slope.